What's good, YouTube? Lork here. And as you know, I'm a huge Boston Celtics fan, so I'm going to do the most realistic Boston Celtics rebuild. Now, they don't really need a rebuild, they just need to make some adjustments. Obviously, the Celtics are in a lot of salary cap debt, and they need to make some changes this offseason. So as you can clearly see here, as you see, I'm wearing a Tatum jersey here and an Isaiah Thomas jersey here. I'm a diehard Celtics fan, and these are the changes that I think the Celtics need to do to be able to get back to glory and back on top. So, with that being said, let's start it off. Trade Tingis and Holiday. We all know that the Celtics need to make some changes this offseason, and these are the two main players taking up a shit ton of calorie space, and they honestly just aren't doing anymore. I like Holiday, but he's like 35 and he's making like 30 mil a year, and then Tingis can't even fucking get on the court. So yeah. So what are we gonna trade him for? We're gonna trade Holiday to the Clippers. All right, the Clippers need themselves point guard. They have Harden. They got Kawhi, but like they have Kendrick Nunn as their point guard. Great defender, but he doesn't really do anything positive on the offensive end and could be a liability on the court for them. So what do we get in return? We get Bojan Bogdanovic, or Bodung Bogdanovic, Chris Dunn, and their 2030 first round pick. Bogdanovic is in there for the money. Chris Dunn's in there for the money as well, just to make it more equal. And obviously, you're getting someone back. And then that first round pick is what the Celtics are looking for from Jrue Holiday. So I think that pick can be valuable later down the line. Next up, trade Porzingis to the Jazz. Now, what do you think we get for Porzingis at this point? Obviously, we don't know if he can play or not, but he kind of needs a fresh start on a new team. So I'm going to trade him to the Jazz. In return, we're going to get Walker Kessler, Cody Williams, and 2 second-round picks. Now, I think going for someone like Cody Williams here, a part of this trade, could be a new fresh start for him. He was their first-round pick last year, but he averaged like 4 points a game. Didn't do shit. And then Walker Kessler is the Celtics getting their big man. Their big man of the future, maybe. So, yeah, they're going to do that. Next up, we got to let JB get his meniscus surgery. So, we want JB to heal up. As we know, Tatum's out all of next season. So, we got to let Jaylen Brown get healthy while we're at it. You know what I'm saying? Which means he's going to be out 4 to 6 months and will probably miss the beginning of the next season. So, yeah, I say let JB heal up. Let Tatum heal up, and, not try to win the chip next year. Next up, re-sign Cornette and Horford. Cornette, big energy guy off the bench. I think Game 5 versus the Knicks has earned him a contract re-sign. I think he's a Celtic. I think he's a Celtic guy. I would love to have Cornette off the bench. And re-sign Horford for that veteran piece. And obviously, you just can't let Horford walk at this point in time. He's a Celtics now. He loves the Celtics. He's done so much for us. You got to re-sign Horford. And then in the free agency, I say sign some cheap young free agents. Well, I have Lonnie Walker down there. He's not too young, but we had him the year before, but we had to waive him due to money reasons. Now that we fixed our money situation, cleared like a shit ton of cat, maybe we could sign some of these young guys, like a Bol Bol, a Bones Highland, a Precious Achua, a Lonnie Walker. Not saying we sign all of them, but maybe we sign 1 or 2 of them. You know what I'm saying? And, that could be valuable for the team, having a nice, good bench piece. And now to the 2025 NBA Draft. This is what I think the Celtics should do. If Derek Queen falls anywhere outside of the top 10 to top 12, I think you got to trade up for him. I think he's a very, very good prospect. So I said trade up for Derek Queen if he falls outside the top 12. And then I said if we're staying at pick 28, which we have pick 28 and 32, so we could use those 2 picks to trade up if we have to. But I said if we're staying at pick 28, I would like for the Celtics to go after someone like Danny Wolf or Liam McNeely. And, the Celtics love their white guys. We love them. We got Pritchard, we got Hauser, we have Cornette. they're valuable pieces to the Celtics, so it just makes sense, getting another like white bucket go getter. Larry Bird is our greatest player in the franchise. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, get a McNeely or go for like a Danny Wolf is what I would say, if available. So, Celtics 2025 starting lineup will be Pritchard, Derek White, Jaylen Brown, Al Horford, Walker Kessler, and then obviously off the bench, we're going to have players like Bogdan Bogdanovic, Sam Hauser, Lonnie Walker, Luke Cornett, and then like McNeely or Wolf, something like that. Cody Williams too, get the young guys some minutes, you know what I'm saying? So yeah, this would be our starting five for next year. Now, with that being said, JB is going to miss the first couple games, even up to a month of the 2025 season. And Tatum is going to miss the entire 2025 season. Even if he's medically ready to go, I don't think he should come back. So, due to these circumstances, Derek White is now averaging 28, 6, and 5 on 50, 40, 90 shooting splits. All right? He is now the number one scoring option due to these circumstances. He's on a generational run. He makes his first All-Star team, is top 5 in MVP voting, and shows the league that even though he may be bald and his hairline was really bad, and that's the reason why he had to go bald, that going bald makes you a better basketball player. Right? So Derek White is now on a generational run. Now, that being said, obviously the Celtics are going to need more than Derek White to score. So, the PP grows, okay? Peyton Pritchard grows as a player and comes from the sixth man of the year role now to the starting point guard role. And with that being said, he's going to have the ball in his hands a lot more. And he is now going to be averaging 25 points per game, 5 rebounds per game, and 7 assists per game, also on 50, 40, 90 splits. So PP grows as a player. Derek White's on a generational run. So the Celtics must be doing good overall. Yes. The Celtics finish 51-31, get the 4 seed, but unfortunately, they do lose in round 2 of the NBA playoffs due to them not having that true star number 1 player healthy and that leader to lead them to the championship. But for all the circumstances that they have, the Celtics have an overall great year. Now, in the 2025 offseason, the Celtics at some point of the season traded for a team's first-round pick. All right? Unprotected, too. It was low in the lottery. The pick was unprotected and had a 1.8% chance to win the NBA lottery. But the NBA draft lottery is rigged to the Celtics, and they get the number 1 pick. Now you're thinking, whoa, this wouldn't happen 2 years in a row. Yes, it would. Actually, I think it happened. This would be 3 years in a row because I'm pretty sure the Hawks, when they got Zachary Richard, did not have a good chance to get a number 1 overall pick, but they did. And the reason being why the NBA draft lottery is rigged towards the Celtics this year, AJ Dembélé. Now let me tell you why. AJ Dembélé is from Massachusetts. He'll be the hometown kid. It's just perfect setup. It's perfect for them. You want storylines in the NBA. So, with the Celtics, they get that first round pick. I don't know by who. I don't know yet. I don't know what they gave up, but it just happens. Are now taking AJ Dembélé number 1 overall. Now, you might be thinking, oh, why don't the Celtics trade the number 1 overall pick if they have such a stacked roster now and they're getting Tatum back? Well, you're going to keep AJ Dembélé because you have to build for a dynasty. You know what I'm saying? So with him heading over there, it just makes so much sense. And him, how players choose if they want to go to the NBA draft or not. Him seeing the Boston Celtics have the number 1 overall pick and not like the Utah Jazz or a shitty team like that, he's going to be like, oh, I'm game. I'm going to the draft. I'm going to the Celtics. I'm going to my hometown team. I'm going to do it for Boston. You know what I'm saying? Type shit. So now the Celtics starting 5 in 2026 is looking like Derek White, Jaylen Brown, AJ Dembélé, Jason Tatum, and Walker Kessler. And now the bench is even more stacked because now we have Pritchard there, including all of our other bench pieces like Al Horford's there. Maybe some of the young guys develop more. Maybe we have some guys on vet minimums, other stuff like that. So this is the Celtics starting five with probably the best bench in the league and depth wise as well. And they're making the salary limit, because you got a bunch of guys on like their rookie deals still. So like everything works out. In the 2026 season, the Celtics go 78-4. AJ wins Rookie of the Year. Tatum wins Comeback Player of the Year, which I don't even fucking know if that's an award in the NBA. But in this circumstance, they make an award for him. If not, so he's going to win Comeback Player of the Year. And he wins MVP. We have 4 All-Stars. Well, it says starts, but stars. You know what I'm saying? With Derek White, Jaylen Brown, Tatum, and AJ DeBanza. They're all All-Stars. They break the 2016 Warriors win record easily. Easily beat it. They become the most dominant team of all time. Makes sense. And Mazzulla is Coach of the Year. And now you're wondering, well, how did the Celtics lose those 4 games? Because, like, if I wasn't being biased, all right, if I was being unbiased, I would have the Celtics be 82-0 because, that's realistic and, it would happen. But those 4 losses, 2 of them are to the Hornets, 1 to the Hawks, and the other one was to the Jazz. It was to those 4 teams. It's who the Celtics lost to. And yeah, all 1-possession games also, down to the buzzer. And the Hornets beat them twice. So yeah, LaMelo Ball hit like this step back, one-legged fadeaway 3. It was crazy, but they're still in the lottery. So sucks to suck. In the 2026 NBA playoffs, the Celtics sweep everyone and go 16-0 in the playoffs for banner 19, clearly showing that this is the most dominant team of all time. And they clearly just show that when the Lakers, I think they won 16-1 that one playoffs, like they just beat everyone by like 20 plus. It's not even competitive. Everyone's freaking out now. They're like, oh no, what are we going to do? The Boston Celtics are so good. Like, we should just forfeit. We should just give up. They're such a super team, So they're going to be like that, and like they're like going to be fucked. You know what I'm saying? Type shit. And the Boston Celtics become the dynasty for the next decade. Celtics become the most dominant dynasty we have ever seen and win 8 of the next 10 years. I decided not to give us all 10 years, being super unbiased here and super reasonable, simply due to the fact that I think in 2 of those years, injuries happen, some of the role guys are going to leave, some players are going to retire, stuff like that. So yeah, that's it. That's the rebuild, or not the rebuild, but the restructure of the Boston Celtics and how they can get back to glory. And, let me know if you want to do any other rebuilds of any other franchises super unbiasedly. And it doesn't only have to be for the NBA, it could also be for the NFL or other things like that. But yeah, that's the most realistic Boston Celtics restructure. You know, they got to restructure their team and get back to glory, and I think they could do that. The Warriors did it back with their dynasty, and they ended up winning in 2022. I just think that the Celtics could switch some things up real quick and, become the greatest dynasty we've ever fucking seen. So, yeah. Yeah. I can't give you the career outcome of all the players, but I think Jason Tatum will go down as the GOAT. Same with Jaylen Brown. I think he'll be top 5 all time. AJ DeBanza is going to be one of the greats. Walker Kessler is going to build a very underrated career with the Celtics. And Derek White will be in the Hall of Fame. So, yeah. So, yeah, let me know if you want me to rebuild any other teams or anything like that. But, yeah, I think that's a clear, pretty unbiased, restructure of the Boston Celtics. So let me know what you guys think down below, and until the next time.